Hi all, this is Ram. Welcome to another session. In this session, we're going to learn about Amazon EC2. Amazon EC2 stands for Elastic Cloud Compute. It's a virtual computer in the cloud. It's like a virtual computer in the cloud. Its features or benefits: increase or decrease capacity in minutes, not even hours or days. You can launch any number of instances simultaneously. Auto scaling to max performance and minimum cost. We have a separate module for load balancing and auto scaling, in the coming modules. So we will discuss more about auto scaling in that particular module. Flexible, multiple instance types, OS and software packages. We will discuss more in detail about the instance types in the coming slides. Integrated. It is integrated with most AWS services like S3, RDS, VPC, etc. RDS is a database, VPC is a virtual private cloud. It is reliable, 99.99% availability guaranteed by Amazon. It is secure, works with the Amazon VPC for security and robust networking. VPC is virtual private cloud. We will discuss about VPC in a separate module very detailedly. It is inexpensive, easy to start. You can start it using AWS Management Console, AWS CLI, AWS SDK. CLI is a command line interface and SDK is software development kit. Block storage. Amazon EC2 instance types. We have general, compute, memory, storage, accelerated. Let's go to the browser. So this is the Amazon EC2 web page. Here we have the overview of the Amazon EC2, its features, pricing, instance types, and the FAQs. So it basically stands for Elastic Compute Cloud, as we discussed. And coming down, you can see the instance categories here. Like we discussed, general purpose, compute organized, memory optimized, accelerated computing, storage optimized. General compute purpose, instance, we use it primarily for small and medium sized databases, ideal for business critical applications, web tier applications. Compute is for high performance computing, batch processing, video encoding. Memory optimized is for distributed web scale in memory caches, high performance databases. So each particular instance category has a purpose. So based on that, we can actually, depending upon our project requirements, we can actually choose the respective instance categories, in that the respective instance types. So let's go on to the instance types here. Yeah. So here, like we discussed, general purpose compute, memory, accelerated storage, these are the ones. So under general purpose instance category, we have again a lot of instance types. In each one, let's say A1, T3, T34, T2, these are all some of the instance types. So under A1, we have again, a couple of these instances. Let's say this one A1 large. So with this one has 2 virtual CPUs and 4 gigs of memory. And the use cases, like we discussed, is primarily for web servers, containers, microservices, distributed data stores, as well as development environments. Similarly, if you come to compute optimized, again here we have 3 types: C5, C5i, and C4. Under C5, again we have C5 large, which has 2 virtual CPUs and 4 gigs of memory. And if you scroll down further, so this particular one has C5D metal, 96 virtual CPUs and 192 gigs of memory. So it's like pretty powerful. So similarly, you have memory optimized, which is primarily for high-end high-scale databases. So this particular one has R5, R5A, and these are some of the ones. So even here we have this 96 virtual CPUs and 768 gigs of memory. So like pretty powerful. And the use cases, like we discussed, high performance databases, distributed web scale in-memory caches, mid-size in-memory databases, real-time analytics. So accelerated computing is again further the next step. It has P3, P2, INF1, G4, G3, F1, and let's say for under P3 we have these ones. Use cases: machine or deep learning, high performance computing, computational finance, speech recognition, etc. And this is again storage optimized. So like this we have, so each particular instance category has specific use cases. So depending upon that, we can actually choose which particular one which actually fits our requirement. So these are some of the instance types. So yeah, so we need to at least know at a high level, the basic, I mean, these names and what are the instance types that actually fall into each category, you know, right? And let's go on to the next slide. Here we have Amazon EC2 purchasing options. Let's come here. So, right. So we have on-demand, reserved, spot. Let's go into the browser. We can see it here, installing purchase options. So I mean, this is primarily, it enables you to optimize your cost based on your needs. So on-demand is like pay by the second for the instances that you launch, and reserved is like, you are basically reserving it for a period of term of 1 or 3 years. So you'll be able to, upfront reduce the cost. So spot instances, again, in reserved instances, like I said here, note, we are not creating a new instance here. Existing instance in question, we are reserving. So it's the same instance we are talking about. And spot, as the name suggests, it is temporary. Request unused instances, lower your cost. So Amazon can terminate anytime an opposite party bids higher. And we have similarly, saving plans, which is also reduce cost by making a, by making a commitment to a consistent amount of usage. And dedicated host is dedicated instances. It is like, this is, again, it's a separate, physical host we are talking about. So the other ones earlier, it's more of a tenancy, I mean, shared host we are talking about. Here we are talking about a physical host. So this will certainly cost you a ton if you're planning to, reserve use any of these. So these are some of the instance, purchasing options. And yeah, so in simple words, basically EC2 is nothing but a simple virtual computer on the cloud, and it has a lot of use cases. Depending upon your use case and requirement, you can choose which option is preferable for you. And if you're ever deciding to use something like a reserved, you'll be very careful in the sense like because it's a commitment for a period of like 1 or 3 years. So you have to be very sure that you really want it for so long. So read all the terms and conditions before going for any of those. It's very important you read entire and have a perfect understanding before you take a step, because on demand, you buy today, you can terminate it tomorrow, or you can even terminate it the next minute. It's all it's all up to you. Yeah, but reserved, again, you're talking about it's you're upfront, giving a commitment like 1 or 3 years. So there is a difference. So though you're getting a discount, but it's a, if you don't need after 1 or 2 months, then going for reserved instance doesn't make sense. So keeping all this in mind, you always need to have take your decisions. Okay, so this is all about the more of a theory, and the next step we will look at launching an EC2 instance. So yeah, launching an EC2 instance, it can be, we can launch Linux, AWS Linux, we can launch Ubuntu, we can launch a Red Hat Linux, we can launch CentOS Linux, we can launch Windows, a lot of other options available as well. So these are some of the basic steps. You may not understand the steps at this time, but what I'll do is, when we actually start, getting into the launching an instance, so it will be pretty clear. So the first is we have to log into AWS Management Console. We have already seen the Management Console in the, in our first module. And then, we have to go for, click on launching an instance, choose an AMI, and then we choose the instance type. Like we discussed just now, on a particular category, you're choosing a particular instance type, and then you're configuring the instance, and you're choosing the storage, the tags if you wanted to, and security groups. You're launching it, key pair, connect. So we will discuss in detail when we're actually launching the instance. Some terminology here is AMI basically stands for Amazon Machine Image. It's a combination of OS and other software. Key pair, it's a combination of public key and private key. Public key is with Amazon, private key is with us. So whenever you're launching an instance, we also create a private key. So we need both public and private key to connect it to an instance. So if you lose your private key, you will not be able to connect it to your instance. So we always need both. So if you're creating a private key, make sure you retain it somewhere safe, so that you don't get into trouble later. Security groups, yeah, so it's basically a virtual firewall for controlling traffic, and we have a separate slides for this, so we will discuss a lot about these in the coming slides. at the time of launching an instance, and after launching an instance as well, we will go in very detailedly. Network interface, it's an interconnection, between computer and the private or public network. Elastic IP, when you launch an instance, you basically get a private IP as well as a public IP. The moment you stop the instance and start the instance, the public IP changes. If you want a same IP, in that situation we can use an public elastic IP. Again, elastic IP is not part of the free tier. I mean, in some cases it is you're not billed extra, but some cases you're actually billed extra. So we will discuss about the scenarios, how it actually works. So if you're only testing at home, I would suggest don't really use the elastic IP. It's really not required, unless but yeah, at the time of launching an instance, we will discuss a little more detailed about elastic IP, how it actually works. So that's it for this session. So in the next session we will launch about we will launch and connect to an instance. So hope this helps. Thank you all.